What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And this one, I want to break down what's going on with Tesla, SPY, Nvidia, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down what's happening with the economic calendar thus far, what's going on with other factors affecting the markets, what you should be watching for as time progresses. But before I break down all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. Firstly, I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, the link down below, and deposit $100 into the account, you are guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed up to 15 free stocks, and the offer ends very soon. Anyways, let's talk about how the market is moving and some very important things. So as of right now, we can see that Tesla is right here. Tesla got this little rejection off this 177 area. This is the exact level we called out in the morning. Came all the way down to about 173.75, came back up to retest this white trend line right here, our support, which became resistance. This is now resistance. Now it came right back down, kind of rejecting. It's barely around this 175 area, kind of rejecting a bit, so it's showing a little bit of weakness. We had some not so good news that came out, and that could be contributing as to why. So what's going on with the markets? Let's just talk about some news before I break down the charts. So at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for today, in just about like 15-20 minutes from now, we have the 4-week and 8-week bill auctions coming out. Watch for volatility at this time for the markets and Tesla. But as far as the overall market goes, Apple came down pretty hard because some big news came out. The U.S. the U.S. Justice Department, excuse me, it basically is planning on suing Apple for antitrust violations as soon as Thursday. And the reason for this is because the U.S. is accusing Apple, the world's second most valuable tech company, of violating antitrust laws by blocking rivals from accessing hardware and software features of its iPhone. So this has led to this big sell-off on Apple. Apple's actually selling off despite the fact that the QQQ Inspire green. Apple's currently barely at the 172 area, down over 3% when the news came out. And with the weakness from Apple, we did see SPY descend just a little bit, so we're going to be watching some key levels. Tesla also came down a bit with the market, but for Tesla, we had more news coming out. So Tesla is planning on expanding its referral program rewards with free premium connectivity, which is trying to incentivize more growth and more sales for their company moving forward, as we're seeing more incentives to grow for the end of the quarter. So we're just a few weeks away, less than a few weeks, just like a week and a half away until March ends, and we're going to get the Q1 deliveries reports. That's going to be key for Tesla. Tesla's doing whatever it can to incentivize more growth with more and more referrals. So that's good news for them. But let me just say that this news came out, which is not as great. Elizabeth Warren, so she is a politician, a senator. She came out and she's urging the SEC to investigate Tesla over board independence. And basically, she's renewed her calls on the SEC to investigate whether Tesla has ran afoul of regulations governing board independence. And in a letter she sent this week, she also expressed concern about potential conflicts and interest between Tesla and private companies Elon Musk runs. They're claiming that there's evidence out there that lead to more concerns about the lack of independence from Elon Musk, who uses his control over the board for his personal benefits rather than the best interest of Tesla shareholders, according to Elizabeth Warren, of course. Now, I'm not saying she's right or wrong. That's up to you to decide. But with this news coming out, that's not the best of news. This has been a little negative for Tesla. I wouldn't say that this is solely affecting Tesla, though. I would say it has more to do with technicals. But I just wanted to call that out. What do I see on the charts from this point on? What do I see happening to Tesla? So we kind of rejected off our 20 EMA and 200 EMA right over here, coming back down. So Tesla's showing a little bit of weakness now, especially as that news has come out. We're going to be watching our support right here as we get closer to 174 to 173.75. If we lose 173.75, a bigger drop is going to be coming to 172. And for resistance, watch 175 followed by this next resistance where this trend line happens to be, followed by 177. So we have some tight levels on Tesla. It's going to most likely hold up for the most part. There is a risk of it coming down a little lower after that news came out. But even if Tesla does drop a bit lower, it's going to be okay because when you look at the charts, Tesla's on an uptrend, right? Made a higher high, higher low, higher high. Even if we come all the way down to like 170, we could still be on a, making a higher low and just continue to bounce relative to this low at 167 from just 2 days ago. So Tesla's fine. It could even drop a little bit more. And it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay on the overall trend. But let me just say that right now we're showing a little bit of weakness on the charts. We could see Tesla get closer to 174 or lower than that. So just be careful. As far as SPY goes, it's been range bound between basically this 523 support and 524 is tight resistance. Hasn't been able to break past that. And with the Apple news coming out, we are seeing this SPY slowing down just a little bit. So watch 523. If we lose this, we have our next support right here. Let me show you the levels. So on the 5 minutes on SPY, you guys can see that If we lose this 50 EMA at 523.17, we could come all the way down to about 522.5, that 522 area. If we lose that, there's a gap to fill at 521.8, and if we lose that, 520 is next. So just be very, very careful, especially because we have this big gap. We'll see how well SPY holds up. It's showing a little bit of weakness. It hasn't been able to break 524 and is starting to turn a bit, especially thanks to the Aapl news. So we'll have to see how it does, but just be careful with it. Same thing with the QQQ. The QQQ has attempted to rebound and then it came back down. So with it failing to get hold above 448.5 to 449, had we broken that, we could have gone all the way up to the 450s, but we kind of failed so far. We're going to be watching support at 447.5. If we lose that, there's 446.7 coming. A gap fill at 446. And if we lose that, a bigger drop to 444. I know the levels on the QQQ are super, super duper tight. I know it's kind of annoying, but that is what the chart's doing right now. Super tight levels. That's why it's like super choppy. But there is some weakness in the chart. There is a risk of it coming down a bit. Part of why is because of Aapl stock. Look at Aapl, guys, a big sell-off. We got this little sell-off. This thing was just at 178 yesterday. Now we're all the way down to 172. We're just shuffling around 172.5. If we push higher, we're going to be looking for 174. If we break down lower, we're going to come all the way down to about 170.9. Overall, the chart's looking a little bit weaker after the big news came out about the U.S. Justice Department suing them. So that's some big news. That's why Apple's down, and there is a risk of more downside. Last but not least, we have Nvidia. Nvidia's all over the place. We got this little pop at 925. I did warn you guys about resistance at 925 in the morning. We rejected off that, came down to about 908. Now we're trying to rebound off that. So now we're just trading sideways within this range. So we're going to be watching 920 to 925 as resistance, 908 as support. Whichever way we break is going to cause a bigger move. If we lose 908, a bigger drop is going to be coming towards 8. I would say this white trend line in the 890 area. If we break past 925, a bigger push is going to be coming towards 930 to 938. But overall, I would say that Nvidia is just range bound. It's still holding up decently, so it's not looking too bad, but just be a little bit careful with it because of all this external news. So that being said, I just want to thank you all so much for listening. I want to keep this video very, very simple. Tesla's showing a bit of weakness because of some news that came out, but overall, it's still holding up well as well, just like Nvidia. Not looking too bad. So I'm going to cut the video from here, make it as short as possible. Have an absolutely incredible day, guys. I want to thank you all so much for listening and get ready for some more volatility once we get this economic data from the 4-week and 8-week bill auctions at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, so thank you for listening. Have an absolutely incredible rest of the day. Remain calm, cool, and collected no matter how insane the market may seem. There's always going to be a great way out, and that comes from your own mind, right? You could lose money, you can make money, but your mind is going to be the most important factor that's going to control whether you continue to lose or win. So make sure you control yourselves. Build the mind, do whatever is necessary, and I'll see you guys very soon on the next one. Thank you for listening, and peace out.